The following is a Thorpe TV production brought to you in cooperation with Jack Thorfinson. Ladies and gentlemen, after a long hiatus, we're proud to have back, for your enjoyment, live from MrHolster's ranch way up north near the Canadian border, let's have a big rousing round of applause, cause here he comes, direct from the bar, Mr. Holster! What a ridiculous name. I'm Mr. Holster. What kind of putz would have a name like Mr. Oh, hey! Mr. Holster, yeah, that's me. Howdy, pards. It's me, Mr. Holster. And Jack. How you doing, Jack? You look good. You look a little tired. Glad you got back from your adventure. You were gone for several weeks there, Jackie. Well, let's get this show started off right. Jack's prepared a special little cocktail. Beet juice. It only you only live once, right, Jack? You got like 9 lives. But you've gone through at least 10. So, let's get this show started off right. To the sunny slopes of long ago. That doesn't heat you up or cool you down. I think I'll have a little water chaser with that. Yeah, pretty much. There we go. I tell you, my wife had a terrible accident at breakfast this morning. She drank my grapefruit juice by mistake. By the time I got back from feeding the cattle, she'd passed out. I slipped on the ice and hurt my back the other day. How my foot got in that glass, I'll never know. So I went to the doctor and had him look at my back, and he told me I should start passing out on a firmer snowbank. You know the difference between a doctor and God? Yeah, God doesn't think he's a doctor. I got stopped by the police last night on the way back from the VFW. The officer said, did you know you were going 75 miles an hour? And I said, no, I didn't, officer. And he said, well, until you get a car, stay off of the interstate. My brother thinks he's a chicken. We don't like to talk about it very much, especially around him because, well, quite frankly, we need the eggs. Some people drink socially, but Jack here, he drinks to forget. That's why the bartenders always make him pay up front. Jack said it's a shame that by the time a man reaches the point he can read a woman like a book, he's too old to start a library. I said, Jack, I feel like a 20-year-old, but there's never one around. The difference between death and taxes is death doesn't get worse every time Congress meets. We pay, as taxpayers, a lot of money to send congressmen and women overseas on expensive trips. It'd probably be worth it if they just wouldn't come back. To prove that Mr. Holster doesn't hold a grudge, go! I set you free. Good monologue tonight, Jack. Hey, you did well. Well, Cousin Jimmy wrote that one, huh? Yeah, well, that's good for Cousin Jimmy, I'll admit that. Yeah. Well, before we get this show started, let's take a little break here for one of our sponsors. They've got an important message for you.
Hey, kids, how do you like my quick shooter hat? I know you'll like this, too. It's Nestle's Quick, greatest tasting, fastest drinking chocolatey milk. Aim for Nestle's Quick.
Well, there you go. That was an interesting commercial, wasn't it, Jack? Yeah, I got to get myself one of those. So this is what we're talking about tonight. First off, Mr. Holster, I've got a warm in here, Jack. You got the heat really cranked up. Now the temperature outside, it's gone from being sub-zero to 40 degrees in like 3 days. So let me just take this off because, quite frankly, I'm getting a little hot, Jack. I'll just hang this up next to Jimmy's jacket. Yeah, I'll hang it next to Jimmy's jacket here. There we go. Much better. As long as I'm up, I'm going to take my 1911 off. Not good to handle those after you've had some beet juice, Jack. I want to take this belt off so you can see it. This here is my Galco Avenger holster for that 1911. But I want to talk about, get down where you can see my face, you know what I'm saying? I want to talk about this belt here I have on. I've worn this belt ever since it came to me. When did this come, Jack? It was back before they ripped all my lymph nodes out of my right side. When was that? It was in October it came, right? I think so. Sometime in September, October, Hidden Hybrid Holsters sent me this. It's a size 40 belt, and I put my belt buckle on there, which kind of increases the size. That didn't help any because MrHolster's had a little... I've gone on a diet, and I've lost a little weight in the last year. I've gone from 256 pounds. What did we weigh in at the hospital the other day? I weighed in at 196 pounds, I think it was, Jack. Yeah, 196. What? Already? Well, Jack says we need to break for another commercial, and we'll be right back.
You probably think I'm just an ordinary guy, but in the sinister world of counter-espionage, I'm known as Agent Zero M. Interesting equipment in counterintelligence, like this portable radio. Supposing I'm here in Monte Carlo, trapped by enemy agents. I play it cool. Just want to hear a little music. That's a tune they didn't expect. The new Zero M radio rifle. Looks like a radio, but touch this button. Rather neat, eh? So's this. The Zero M jet coder pen has 2 points. Writes a secret message you can see only with these glasses. And fires a jet of water 30 feet. To get your Zero M radio rifle and jet coder, just remember the password. Bobby, are you going to mow the lawn or not? The password? Zero M.
Well, that was interesting too, Jack. I got to give myself one of those also. So, I wanted to talk about this belt. One of the things they do, they put 7 holes in this belt, each one a ½ inch apart, which I think traditionally you get 5 holes in a belt and they're set a little bit further apart. I think it's a ½ inch or it's a 3/4 of an inch, Jack. I think it's 3/4 of an inch. At any rate, they put in 7 holes, which works quite well. I've had to add a couple holes there. On the bottom, I punched in, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I added 3 more holes on it because, yeah, we lost that weight. I'm still, and the doctor says it's all right. He says I'm still overweight, so I'm almost down to, I weighed 210 pounds most of my working career. But when I got married, I weighed 185, so I'm still 11 pounds, yeah. 11 pounds overweight, so. But I've had to do that, and this belt is made out of Herman oak leather, and it's a very, very stiff belt. Now, it's been stitched. I'll show you, it's got stitching around the edge to give it a dress belt look, but it's a one-piece solid leather. Very stiff belt, and I wanted to show it to you because it really... Out of all the belts I've used, the only belt that compares or works as well is a horsehide belt that Andy Artunian, I've got about a dozen of those that Andy Artunian made for me over the years, horseshoe leather. And he doesn't make those belts anymore. Those were incredibly good belts and held up a long time. This one's right up there with that. Just a fantastic belt, and I think they run under $50, Jack. Isn't that what they are? They're under $50. Just wanted to mention that in case you're looking for a really good belt, because, yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that buy a holster but never get a belt. They just use whatever belt they have, and they really don't work well. You need to get a belt that's designed to support the weight. And, of course, this, I've used it practically the entire time with a fairly heavy firearm, a full-size government service firearm. So with this Avenger holster, and it's held up incredibly well. Thought I'd mention that tonight. So there you go, guys. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. Is just this belt. If you're looking for an incredibly good, very inexpensive gun belt, there it is. Hidden Hybrid Holsters. I'll put a link down below. Well, Jack, I'm glad you're back from your outing. You really had a busy last few weeks. And frankly, Jack, I think you look like it. Look like you need to sleep for 2 weeks. You also look like you need to go to your hair salon or what do you call that? See, because Mr. Holster doesn't do that. He doesn't have any hair. Hairstylist, yeah, your hairstylist. You need to go to the hairstylist, especially now, Jack. It's warming up, and frankly, you've got a lot of hair there. I didn't even know it was you when you came in the door. If it weren't for the Trans Am parked out front, I wouldn't have had the slightest idea who it was. So, there you go, guys. There's another SOCS show. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, from Mr. Holster and Jack, go out and stay safe. That's 10 minutes and 25 seconds of their life, Jack, that they'll never, ever, ever get back again.